Part 9 of our SharePoint Basics series is going to be looking at the different applications or apps that you can build in SharePoint. Again, the examples that I'm using are SharePoint Online, but I can promise you that the basics are the same. So even in SharePoint on-premise, you'll still see the similar apps that you'll be building in your sites. So keep in mind that there are two types of sites these days. So you get the normal team site and you get communication sites. Of course, the communication sites can be different types of templates as well. So showcase or topic or blank. So let's first take a look at the communication site. So if I go and I click on the settings wheel, you'll see that there's add an app. By default, I don't add apps from there. I always go to site contents first. And it's kind of like that, don't buy groceries if you don't know what's on the grocery cupboard first. I've caught myself so many times building an app that I've already built. So that's why I always first go to site contents. I make sure, yes, I'm pretty sure this is what I'd like. And then you'll see that there is add an app. So the apps that you can add in the communication site templates are definitely limited towards the team site. So here you can see document library, custom list, site mailbox, calendar, custom list as well, import spreadsheet, site mailbox. So these are the type of apps that you can add in the communication sites. And in the team sites, definitely much more. And you'll see that it looks very similar to the apps that you can add in your on-premises 2013 or 2010 or 2016 site. So let's go add an app from here. And let's have a look at the type of apps that are available here. So again, under Noteworthy, you'll see document library, custom list, tasks, site mailbox. And there you'll see a form library, wiki page library, a picture library, a links list, announcements, contacts list, calendar, promoted links, promoted links. Of course, discussion board, tasks, issue tracking, custom list. So custom list is used to build an app from scratch, if I can put it that way. And then, of course, again, in datasheet view, external list, survey, which I've now, of course, have been replaced in online by forms. Import a spreadsheet, and there's your site mailbox. Let me just give you an example of the promoted links in case you've forgotten what they look like. There is the promoted links. Of course, as well, if I had to look at a custom list, let me give you a cool example of a custom list that I've built. So instead of having something in a spreadsheet, I took a custom list and I built all the columns that I needed for that spreadsheet. Now here you can see, it looks like folders, doesn't it? But that's actually grouping of metadata. So if I had to expand these, you'll see that there's a lot of columns here and it's got different metadata in it. So what I did in this app is that I created a custom list and then I added all the columns that I needed to create that spreadsheet that I want to use. So that's what custom lists are brilliant for. And of course, remember that you can add your own columns to these custom lists to make it really work for you. So think of a spreadsheet and think of the different formatting you have on the columns. There you'll see is some cool ideas of the different type of columns that you can add. So custom lists are definitely a cool idea. So even though quick links is one of the web parts that you can build, you'll see that if I have to put this page into edit mode, I can of course add different web parts on the pages now as well, which wasn't possible before. So for example, the people picker, I mean, what an incredible web part to use. And I'll just add Tracy there. And of course, I can also add the quick links, which is what I want to show you now. Let me just see where they are. There we go. So quick links is all about adding web pages or websites that you can use or use often. So let's just have a look at that. So there's just a website link that's been added. But definitely a lot of cool apps that you can add these days. And definitely go and have a look there. If you go add an app, go and see the different apps. But make sure that you remember that communication sites and team sites have different apps that you can add. But then we also have new apps that we can add right on the landing pages in SharePoint Online. Hope you'll enjoy playing around with those applications in SharePoint.